wanna know, was it serious? I need it clear, my best friend. Isn't easy to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I know I told you, it's the best light I know. It's not a game that I am.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is finally my makeup storage and makeup collection video. You guys have been asking for this like literally since I started my channel. It's just something that everyone always wants to see. I know I am a little sticky beak. I really like rifling through other people's shit basically. I recently moved house, if you guys have kept up to date with my Vlogmas videos and my Snapchats and all that sort of stuff. So I just wanted to film my makeup collection and storage so you guys could see what I had all last year while I was living at my parents' house. But anyway, if you guys want to see my makeup storage, my makeup collection, all that sort of stuff, then just keep watching. So this is the very first thing you see when you walk into my bedroom. This is like my beauty side of my room. So I do have quite a small space to work with. So I've done the best with the amount of space that I do have. So as you guys can see, starting from the top, we have a little shelf. This is a floating shelf. I believe it's from Bunnings. I think it was like $50 or something like that. My parents installed that for me. So I'm sure you guys can get it from any homeware or hardware sort of store. And then underneath that, we just have a desk. This desk is actually the Micke desk from Ikea. I believe it was like $150, so it wasn't too expensive. And then we just have a little wheelie chair. This one is from Kmart. And then coming over to the right hand side of my makeup storage area, we have the Ikea Alex drawers. This is the smaller set. I just grabbed this one because I wasn't sure that I would even fill those up. So moving on to the right hand side of my room, just above the Alex drawers I just showed you guys, we first have a little acrylic storage makeup box. This box was actually gifted to me by NYX at IMATS. This was like one of their Christmas presents for me, which was absolutely amazing. I love it so much. I think this drawer set is actually from the makeup box shop, I think. So sitting on top of the acrylic storage, I just have a couple of little knickknacks. First, I have these watches sitting in a little tray here. This was a gift at Christmas time, I think. And it says life is art, paint your own dream. So I thought that was really sweet, and that's what I actually keep my watches in. Then on the left here, I have a Viktor and Rolf perfume. This is in the scent Bonbon. Then we have some brushes. These are actually some Tarte brushes. Some of these are from the Nicole Concealer brush set from Tarte, and some of them are from their Christmas set that they came out with that had like brushes and was like a little case sort of thing. So I just kind of have them mixed up because I have a few of them over the other side of my beauty room as well. And this is actually stored in a little tea light holder. So I got this from Kmart for like $3, I think. I originally purchased it to sit tea lights in there as it's originally intended. But when I brought it home, I saw the Tarte brushes next to it and I just thought it would look really cute to have them sitting in there. And then lastly, we just have this frame. The note that is in here was actually from Loving Tan, from one of their PR packages that they sent out. It was of their shimmer lotions that they came out with. I thought it was really pretty and I could just like put it in my beauty room and it would just look really nice, like as like a decorative sort of piece. So that's why I kept it and I decided to put it in this frame, and I think it looks really pretty. So in the top section of the acrylic storage, I like to store all of my Lime Crime liquid lipsticks, my Diamond Crushes, and a few of their super foiled eyeshadows. So I just have a few of the metallic liquid lipsticks. I've got a few of the regular ones, and then we have some brighter, crazier sort of colors. I love their liquid lipsticks. If you guys like Gerard Cosmetics, I think you would really like Lime Crime. Then we have some Lime Crime super foil shadows on the left hand side. These are really pretty. There was a lot of controversy with these recently because the eyeshadows do have like a little bit of rust in the pan, but they've actually taken these off the market now because they're like reformulating them. So you can't actually get your hands on these currently, but they are coming out with new formulas to make sure that they don't rust in the pan. I don't actually use these anymore. I just keep them just so I can keep an eye on them and see what's sort of happening with the formula and if it's getting any worse. And that way when the new ones come out, I can kind of compare the formula and see if there's any differences or anything like that. But yeah, I definitely don't use those on my eyes anymore because that would be unsafe. Then in the back, I have all of their Diamond Crushes. These are actually a new release from Lime Crime and they are so stunning. So moving on to the second drawer, I have a lot of my Ofra lipsticks stored in the front here. They're actually doubled up because I have quite a few of them. And then in the back, I have a couple more Ofra liquid lipsticks. These ones are their new packaging, I believe, so they're a little bit larger. And then I have the older packaging sitting right at the back because they're a bit small and it doesn't really match up. So I kind of just set them back there. Then at the back on the right hand side here, I just have some Dose of Colours lipsticks. Moving on to the third drawer, I have all of my Tarte lip paints in the front here. So we have some of the matte lip paints and we also have a couple of the regular lip paints. And then in the back here, we just have some Zoeva liquid lipsticks. This drawer's kind of random. This is where I have like a lot of one-offs of liquid lipsticks and that sort of thing. I've just kind of had to put them all in together. Up the back here, we have some of the Maybelline Vivid Matte liquid lipsticks. Then on this side, I have one of the Too Faced Melted liquid lipsticks. And then I just have another little mini one. It came as a sample when I purchased something. And then on this side, I have two Anastasia liquid lipsticks. This one is Milkshake and this one is Pure Hollywood. I love these two shades, especially mixed together. They're gorgeous. I have one of the Kylie lip kits in here. This is the only one I own. Then I have some of the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks in here. I really love these. Then underneath I have a lot of the NYX lingerie liquid lipsticks, and then I also have one from Beauty Bakery. This was the collaboration with Cosmo by Hailey. I love Hailey so much. She was so kind to send this to me, and it's just a really gorgeous formula and color. Last but not least, we just have the bottom drawer. This one is just crazy miscellaneous, so random. So up the back here, I just have three regular lipsticks from Bobbi Brown. This is just where I keep all my normal little lipstick sort of bullets. Then I have one from Lipland. This was the collaboration with Samantha, and this is the color cream corset. It's really gorgeous. I have one from Dose of Colours. I have a couple of the L'Oreal lipsticks. These are the ones that were in collaboration with the models. A couple of the lip quenchers from Face of Australia. A couple of the Kate Moss Rimmel lipsticks. We have some Kat Von D studded lipsticks. I also have two lipsticks from MAC. I have Velvet Teddy and Myth. These are the only MAC lipsticks that I own. And then I have a ton of the NYX Butter lipsticks. These are a few of the Nude Sticks little lip pencils and things like that. So I just still have them sitting in the tins because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with these just yet. If I want to keep them in the tins or if I want to do something with the tins. I don't know. I just kind of sat them in there because I wasn't really sure what to do with them. So just underneath those Nude Sticks tins, I just have a lot of lip liners and things. First, we have the Gerard Cosmetics lip pencils. I love these. You guys can actually use Kasey to get 25% off Gerard Cosmetics. Some lip liner crayons. These are the Nicole Concilio lip liner crayons that she came out with. So proud of her. You guys know that I love Nicole. She's one of my really good friends. And yeah, I just have those sitting in there. Then I just have one of the Tarte Lippy Lingeries. I have like a Sigma lip gloss. I have two Colourpop lipsticks. I have a NARS lip gloss. I actually love this. This is in the shade Chelsea Girls and it's so gorgeous. One of the Huda Beauty liquid matte lipsticks. So now moving on to my Alex drawers. These are where I store 90% of my makeup. So in this top drawer, this one's pretty random. It's where I put a lot of products that I want to film like haul videos and that sort of thing on, or like I just put like miscellaneous things in here that need to be put away into my collection, but I'm not ready to do that just yet. The first thing we have in here is just the NYX Advent Calendar. This one is the 2016 Advent Calendar. Just quickly right up the back of the Alex drawers, I actually have all the little NYX products from the Advent Calendar stored up there. Then in this little tray, this tray is actually from Bunnings. It's just literally a little white basket, and you can get them for like $1, $2, $3 depending on like the size that you get. They're really good for fitting in the Alex drawers, and that's what I have in all of my drawers to store my makeup. First, we just have a few of the Makeup Addiction little pigments in here. The Holy Glow Volume 2 palette, the Artist Couture Diamond Glow powders. Then I randomly just have some of my SFX sort of makeup that I use for Halloween. Then over this side, as you guys can see, we have a ton of brushes. That is because Sigma actually sent these brushes over to me. This is one of their new copper sets. If they're still available, I'll link it down below. Then moving on to the second drawer in my Alex drawer set. This one is my blush and highlight drawer. I kind of put my blushes and highlights together because, I don't know, they go like on the same part of the face, I guess. So on the right hand side, we have all of my highlighters. Then we have some palettes. We have liquid highlighters and like cream highlighters over here. And then we have all of my blushes. So first up, we have the Becca and Jaclyn Hill palette. It's probably one of my favorite palettes that I own. Then we have an iconic London highlighting palette, the Anastasia That Glow kit. This is the only glow kit that I own by Anastasia, but I love it so much. And then I have this Morphe 9B blush palette. Then I have this Studio 10 palette. So moving on to the right hand side where all my little single highlighters are. First we have one from MAC. I actually picked this up recently when I was at IMATS. This one is really, really gorgeous. This is in the shade Double Gleam and it's so beautiful. This is probably my favorite highlight at the moment. This is Moonstone from Becca Cosmetics. I love this. It's actually shattered quite a few times, so I've had to use alcohol to kind of press that back in there. Then we have the So Hollywood Illuminator from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Then I have all my Gerard Cosmetics star powders in here. These are so beautiful. We have two of the Tarte highlights. This one is in the shade Stunner, and then we have the shade Exposed. This one is probably my favorite. I also have the Skin Twinkle palette from Tarte. This is really beautiful. And then in the back I have all of my Artist Couture Diamond Glow powders. I do have a discount code with them. I just can't remember what it is. I think it's like Kasey Rayton or something like that, and you get 10% off. I will leave it on the screen and listed down below for you guys as well, so you can check that out. But in the back, I also just have this little ColourPop highlighter, and this one is in the shade Lunch Money. And this one's a cream highlight, but I just kind of have him popped in the back there because I don't always reach for him. Then moving on to the side here, I have a couple of palettes popped in here. So first off, we have the Strobe of Genius NYX palette, and then we also have the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics Holy Glow Volume 1 palette. Then these big guys here are all Makeup Addiction, what are these called? These are their light reflecting loose powders. Then moving on to this first little tray here, these are all like my liquid illuminator products. Shy Beam, I've got High Beam, What's Up Dandelion Dew. I also have two of the NYX illuminators. Then I have my Gerard Cosmetics BB Illumination Plus cream. I love this, it's really beautiful. I have one from Hailey Baldwin and Model Co. Then I have the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, and this one is in the shade Moonstone. And then I have a couple of the iconic London strobing sticks. Then moving on to all my blushes up the back here. First off, I just have the Benna tint and I have a Posy tint. Those are both from Benefit. Then we have a ColourPop Trickery blush. I don't reach for this quite a lot because this has dried out so much. Then I have two MAC blushes. This one is Peaches and this one is Warm Soul, and they are my absolute favorites. Probably my favorite blush of all time, which is Milani's Luminoso. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous blush. I love it so much. It is really, really stunning. I also have a few blushes from Tarte in various shades. They're all really beautiful neutral sort of shades, so I really love them. I have the Dandelion blush from Benefit, one from Too Faced, Charlotte Tilbury. This one looks like a nipple. And then in the back here, I just have a couple of Artist Couture cheek colors. They're kind of like a hybrid between a blush and like an illuminator. And then I have a ton of like NYX blushes just sitting in the back. Then this little guy on the side is the Too Faced Love Flush palette. I love this so much. It's so gorgeous. It just has some really beautiful blush shades in there. So this is my foundation and concealers and powders drawer. These are all my favorite things. I am like a huge base products kind of girl. So starting off on the right hand side here, I just have a random Physicians Formula foundation sitting here just because I need to film my first impressions video on it and I haven't got around to it yet, so he's just kind of living in the drawer. But this area is my little powder section. First off, I just have a little Laura Mercier translucent powder sitting down here. I also have the Laura Mercier, if I can get him out, the Secret Brightening powder. I love this as well for setting underneath my eyes. It's my favorite. Then I have a couple of MAC powders. This one is the Studio Fix setting powder. As you guys can see, I've hit pan. I've actually gone through one of these already. And then behind him, I also have the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in the shade Light. Then we have a Benefit Hello Flawless powder. Then behind that, I have a Maybelline Fit Me powder. And then I just have a couple from like Australis in the back here. And I also have one of the NYX HD finishing powders. And last but not least, this little guy on the side is probably one of my most beloved powders. This is the NARS Press powder in the shade Beach. Mine is broken, as you guys can see. I don't know how it happened, but the glue must have worn off and he pops out all the time. Then moving on to all my primers. So first we have a couple of samples from Inglot when I purchased something from them. We've got like a mattifying primer and a regular one. And then in the front here I have a couple of professionals. So they're just like floating around in the front there because I always use those. My favorite primer of all time is the Bare Minerals Prime Time in the neutralizing shade. Then I have the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. I've had this for so long and it's pretty much all gone, but I'm just trying to like get the last remnants out of it. I also have one of the Too Faced Hangover RX primers. I have another professional primer. He's in the box because he's waiting waiting to be opened. I like to have backups of him at all times. And then I have one of the Kat Von D primers. I really like that one as well. Then at the back here, I just have the Maybelline Baby Skin Smoothing Primer. I don't really ever use this, to be honest. I have an Iconic London primer. I have the Professional Matte Rescue. I have a couple of the NYX Photo Loving primers in the back here. And then I have a couple of like their pore fillers and that sort of thing. And then I have a couple of like blotting powders. I have like a sample of Professional, and yeah, these are just kind of like thrown in this sort of area of the drawer. Then moving over to the side of my drawer where all my foundations are. So I have a couple of the Kat Von D Lock-It foundations. We have a few of the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundations. I actually love these. They're probably like one of my favorite foundations ever. Then I have the Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation. I have one of the Hello Flawless Benefit foundations. We also have the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I also have a few of the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundations, and I also have the Dewy and Smooth one as well. And then at the front here, I have a few of the NARS All Day Luminous foundations. I love these so much. I also have the NARS Sheer Glow. This is probably one of my favorites of all time. I have Estee Lauder Double Wear. I have a couple of the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops. Then I have L'Oreal True Match. I have this RCMA foundation thinner because I have an RCMA foundation palette, and this is what you mix it with. I have the Makeup Forever Stick Foundation, and then I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Foundation Stick as well. And then just in the side, I have a NYX BB Cream. I have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This foundation is absolutely amazing. And then I also have a MAC Pro Longwear waterproof foundation. Then moving on to all of my concealers. So I have one of the Maybelline Fit Me Concealers. This one is actually a Bobbi Brown retouching wand. I also have the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye concealer. I have two of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealers. I love these. These are both in the shade Light Warm. I have all of the Too Faced Born This Way foundation collection, so they're just kind of sitting at the bottom there. And then I have a couple of the Kat Von D Lock-It concealers, and then I have some of the Tarte Shape Tape concealers as well. So in the back here, I have the LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is the orange one, so it's like in the color correcting shade. I have one of the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea concealers. I have a little NYX color correcting green concealer. Two of the Benefit Erase Paste because I love those. They're amazing for dark circles. I have a Sigma lip concealer, and then I have a couple of foundation samples. Then at the back of my drawers, I just have these little palettes sitting in there. So this one is the NYX Conceal and Correct palette, the Zoeva Concealer Spectrum palette. Then moving on to my fourth drawer down, this one is like my bronzer, contouring, and like palette sort of drawer. So in this side, I have all singular bronzing powders. So these ones are all the Too Faced bronzers. Then I have this little NYX highlight and contour powder. Then down the side, I have a couple of the ColourPop contour bronzing sort of shades, but these have dried out heaps, so I never use them anymore. I have an Ofra bronzer. I have two of the NYX bronzers. They're really nice. I have two Benefit Cooler bronzers. I really love these. And I have the Maybelline Master Sculpt palette, the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Matte Bronzer, the Too Faced Sweethearts bronzer. Then moving on to this little basket that we have here. This one sits at the front on the left hand side. This has all my cream and liquid bronzing products in there. So the first one I have to show you guys is the Chanel 10 Day Soleil Bronzer. I absolutely love this. We have a couple of the LA Girl Pro Concealers, the NYX Mineral Stick Foundations in the shade number 9, the Tarte Sculptor Pencils, the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in the shade Sunkissed. I also have one of the Maybelline Fit Me Stick Foundations, this little L'Oreal Infallible Sculpt Contouring Palette. I also have one of the Benefit Do the Hoola Bronzing Liquids. Then I have a Kat Von D concealer in here as well. And then I just randomly have this little Anastasia Pro pencil in here. It's like an eyeshadow primer and color corrector. Then moving on to a couple of my palettes. I have these ones sitting here at the front because these are the ones I use all the time. And then at the back I have some other ones that I don't really reach for as much. First we have the Tarteist Contour Palette. I absolutely love this. It is so stunning. Then behind that we have the Tarteist Pro Glow To Go palette. They recently launched this one. And we also have the Tarteist Pro Glow Contour and Highlighting palette. So this one is really gorgeous as well. You guys know that I love this palette. I used it in a tutorial recently and it's just honestly one of my favorites. Recently Sephora sent me this IT Cosmetics Je Ne Sais Quoi palette. So this is like a little contouring, highlighting and blush palette. And then last but not least, for my little palettes that I use all the time, I have the Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette. And I absolutely adore this one. This is probably my favorite contouring palette of all time. Then up the back here I have more palettes that I don't really reach for all the time. So on this side I have my Makeup Geek Travel Vault. So I actually use this one when I'm traveling. I can just pop any eyeshadow pans or contouring pans in here. So here we have a couple of the Makeup Geek contouring pans. Then we have a MAC Emphasize powder, and we have a Makeup Geek blush. We have two of the Chloe Morello and Revlon highlight and sculpt palettes. A little Morphe palette. This one is the 06PC palette. And we have a few more Morphe contouring palettes up the back here. First we have the Morphe 9C contouring palette. Then we have the 9BZ palette. And then we have the 9FW, which is a cream contouring palette. Then on this side I have a few more palettes. The first one I have is this Gorgeous Cosmetics palette. This one is kind of like an all-rounder sort of palette. I also have an iconic London contouring palette. Both the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder contour kit and the cream contour kit. These are both in the shade Light, one of the RCMA foundation kits. The Zoeva Contour Spectrum palette, the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. And in the back here, this is probably my favorite contouring palette that I have because I made it myself. This one's from Inglot. This is their Freedom System palette. And these are some of their Freedom System powders. So this drawer is the bottom drawer in my little Alex drawer set. This is the last one and it is the worst one. So this one is an absolute mess. As you guys can see, it is all my eyeshadow palettes and some of my setting sprays. But up the front, I just have a few of my palettes that I reach for the most out of this drawer, and then the rest are kind of chucked up to the back so they're out of the way. We have the Kylie Bible BH Cosmetics palette. I have the Tartist Pro palette. This eyeshadow palette is really gorgeous. I actually love it. I've done a tutorial on this palette recently. I also have the Shaaanxo BH Cosmetics palette. I love this palette. I love Shannon. She's such a sweetheart. Then I have the Manny MUA Makeup Geek palette. I also have two of the Kylie eyeshadow palettes. I have the bronze palette and the burgundy palette. I like to keep a lot of my palettes in their original packaging as well, just to keep them safe. Then I have one of the Stila Eyes Are the Window palettes. This one is the Soul palette, the original Tartlet palette, the Lime Crime Venus palette. I have the original one and I have the Venus 2 palette. And then on the right hand side I store all of my Makeup Addiction cosmetics palettes. So I have the Meadow palette, I have the Vintage palette, and I have the Flaming Love palette, and I also have the Kat Von D Serpentina palette. Then I have all my setting sprays here. So I have the Ofra Makeup Fixer spray. I love this stuff, it's so nice. I also have two of the Skindinavia makeup sprays. So this one is the finishing spray and this one is the primer spray. The Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I absolutely love Fix Plus, it is my favorite. Then I have a couple of the Slay All Day setting sprays from Gerard Cosmetics. I have the green tea one, the grapefruit one, and I also have a mini little cucumber one. And then I have a NYX matte finish and a dewy finish setting spray. Then underneath those setting sprays I actually keep my Makeup Geek palettes. So this one has all of my duochromes and my foiled eyeshadows, and then this big guy has all of my regular shimmer eyeshadows and all of my matte eyeshadows. We just have a random little Inglot one in here as well. Then right up the back here I just have a couple of empty Fix Pluses and an empty Studio Fix powder. I keep these because of the Back to Mac program. And then right up the back here is where I keep all my little palettes. So I have a little tiny Travel Z palette. I also have the Too Faced Totally Cute palette. I also have the NYX Avant Pop palette. I then have the Morphe 12P palette, a Morphe 12NB palette, and then I have this chunky little Z palette. So this has a few of my spare backup Makeup Geek eyeshadows in here, and then I have like some little empty palettes and some magnets. So if I ever want to depot something, I just have all of it stored in there so it's out of the way. And I also have two empty Z palettes in the back as well. I also have two Morphe palettes stored in the back here. This one is the 35O palette, and then last but not least for this drawer I have the Morphe 35W palette. Then moving over to the left where my desk is sitting now, we just have a lamp. So I just have this in my room because the ceiling light that I have in this bedroom is actually an LED light, and that's what I use to light a lot of my videos. So I can't actually have this light on as a general light source because it is so white and bright and blinding. So I often use my lamp to light my room at night time. Then over here we just have a little acrylic storage drawer set, and we also have a little lipstick holder. This little drawer set was actually from Kmart or Target. I think it was from Target. Up the top I have an acrylic lipstick container. So this one is from by Alegory, and it's just really, really good quality. So I love that. And I just have my melted matte lipsticks from Too Faced stored in here. And behind those melted matte lipsticks from Too Faced, I just have all the Gerard Cosmetics Supreme lip creams back here. Then moving on to the drawers. The first drawer just has a lot of NYX roll-on shimmers and then a few of their pigments. And in the back, I have a couple of eye candy glitters. The second drawer has all of my eye primers. So we have one from Benefit. This one is the Air Patrol primer, the Too Faced Shadow Insurance eye primer, the Lemonade primer from Benefit. I have a couple of Bobbi Brown eye primers in there as well. And then I just have a few of the NYX Cosmetics Jumbo eye pencils in the back there. Then on the left hand side, I have a couple of the Maybelline Color Tattoos. I have my MAC Pro Longwear Soft Ochre Paint Pot, a little NYX eyeshadow base, and a Bobbi Brown single little cream eyeshadow. Then the third drawer of this little set just has a few of my Makeup Addiction pigments. Then I have a couple of Makeup Store pigments in here as well. I have a Kat Von D single eyeshadow. I have a NYX single eyeshadow. Then I have a couple of the NYX prismatic eyeshadows up the back. And I have a few of the Makeup Geek sparklers in there as well. Then just moving to the left hand side, this is where I keep all of my brushes. These are all of my Sigma brushes. They're currently the only brushes that I am using. So these are actually candle holders. Every time I purchase a candle and I run out of it, I clean it out and then I put my brushes in here. And this tape is actually from Spotlight. So I just literally stuck it around the jar and I thought it made it a little bit prettier. I basically just have it sorted into all of my eye brushes, then all of my smaller sort of face brushes. We have all foundation brushes back here, and then I have all face concealer sort of brushes right in the back. Then moving along to the very left hand corner of my makeup desk, we just have this little lit up tree. I actually got this from Tarte in a PR package just the other day, and I just thought it was the most perfect little ornament for Christmas. I love it so much. And down in the very left hand corner here, I just have a couple of Christmas presents. And over this side as well, I also have another one of those tea lights with more of the Tarte brushes. So on the top here, I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Makeup by Mario Master Palette. I love this palette so much. And then we have the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette there as well. Underneath there, I have the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills and their Self-Made palette as well. The Self-Made palette was actually a limited edition palette, so you guys can't get your hands on that anymore. Then underneath, I have three of the Too Faced palettes. We have the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette, the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette, and I also have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I then have the It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette, and then underneath that I have two of my Zoeva palettes. So I have the Naturally Yours palette and the Taupe palette. And then right at the very bottom I have the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. So moving right along to my top shelf, first we have on the left hand side this Benefit Brow Closet. So this was actually gifted to me when I went to the Benefit event in Sydney, and they gave us all of their brow products. So I've just kept that. There's actually nothing inside there, but I've kept it just simply for display purposes because I think it looks really pretty. And then to the right of that little closet, I just have a few of my Luxie beauty brushes, and I have a couple of iconic London brushes in there as well. So I just thought they were pretty and I just wanted to keep them on display. Then I have another little Ikea plant that I keep up here. And then moving right along to the right hand side of my floating shelf, we just have a few Gerard Cosmetics lipsticks in here. These are all their regular lipsticks. I like to keep them in this little makeup organizer on display just because I think they look really gorgeous and I love the gold packaging. I got that little lipstick holder from eBay. Then I have some of the fake Real Techniques brushes in there. I actually bought those on eBay as well. I simply got them just for like display because I thought they looked really pretty. And I also have a few Zoeva brushes in there as well. And last but not least, I have this makeup organizer from the Makeup Box shop. So in this, I literally have all of my Gerard Cosmetics Supreme lip creams, my Hydra Mattes, my lip glosses, and a few more bullets. So all these ones at the front here are their liquid lipsticks. And then as I spin it around, you guys will see all of the lip glosses that I have stored in there as well. And then in this side, I just have a couple of the regular lipsticks in there. And off the top, I have a few more of my Hydra Mattes because I have nowhere else to store them. So this is the very left-hand side drawer of my desk. So this is basically my miscellaneous everything drawer. As you guys can see, I have some micellar water, I have some makeup remover wipes, I have a little spray bottle. This is where I keep some alcohol in to spot clean my brushes. I have a random little pack of tea in here, I don't know why. Dirty beauty blenders that need to be washed. I have my eyelash curler, I have some skincare stuff, I have some combs, I have like one of the Too Faced lip injection glosses, I have a couple of lip balms, I have some spare backups of mascaras and things, some of the Beauty Bakery lip whip removers, a cortisone cream in here actually because I always break out in a rash from skincare items that are too harsh, and this is the only thing that gets rid of it, so I always keep that in there. I have a couple of headbands for when I'm filming first impression videos, and then in the back I have a couple of makeup pouches, and one of them is full of some Morphe brushes that I don't really use. So this first little basket here just has all my mascaras. I have a Pony Cosmetics one, a couple from Benefit Roller Lash. I have a few of the NYX colored mascaras, and I have a Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So just have some random mascaras in there. Then this basket here is just all my eyeliners. So I have a ton of the Too Faced sketch markers in here. I have a few from NYX, some from Zoeva, a few of the Tarte clay paint liners. I have a Kat Von D one, some from Makeup Geek, and then some from NYX. And yeah, I've just got a ton of eyeliners in there, so I'm not going to go through every single one of those because there is so many in there. Then moving on to the last basket that I have in this drawer, this is all my brow products. So I do have quite a lot of the Benefit brow collection. I actually have all of them. I have a couple of backups of things. I have two of the Benefit Give Me Brow. I love these. I also have a Brow Zings powder. I love this one as well. I have a couple of 3D brow tones and their other gels. I have the Ka-Brow. I have a few of their Goof Proof and Precisely My Brow pencils. A couple of like NYX brow gels and things like that. A few Sigma items. I have two of the Anastasia dip brows in here, and I also have one of the Gerard Cosmetics brow bars to go. Then the drawer on the right hand side of my desk is just all of my lashes. I've recently gone through and gotten rid of a lot of my lashes because I tend to only wear the same ones. The ones you guys would always see me wearing are the New Bella Bouncums, Bombays, Serengeti, and Australian Mist. You guys can use the code Kasey Rayton to get 20% off New Bouncum. Then I just have a few pairs from Lotus lashes over here. We have some Mosquito lashes, and then in the back we have some Luxie lashes. I have some House of Lashes here, some Econ lashes, and I've got some more House of Lashes at the back. I also have some Exo Beauty, some Socialize. I have some Tarte lashes, and then I have my Huda Beauty lashes in the front here as well. Then over this side we have some Vegas nail lashes. I have the Benefit They're Real Big Sexy Lip Kit in here. I just keep that in here because I don't really have anywhere else to put it at the time. I have a little color chart in here just for when I feel like a bit uninspired and I'm not sure what look to do. Then in this metal tin over here is where I keep all my lash tools. So I have like my Lilash serum, some lash glue, and like all that sort of stuff in there. Then I have one of these little House of Lashes jewel cases, and this has some of my lashes in here. So these ones in the center are the Vegas Nay Grand Glamour lashes, and then these two are the House of Lashes Iconic. So that's it for my makeup collection and storage video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know what your storage is like in the comments down below so I can get some more tips on how to improve mine. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.
Isn't easy to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders.